Hi guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 12th of May 2021. Just wanted to pop on very quickly. The video won't be long, 2 maybe 3 minutes at the most. I just want to quickly go over Bitcoin before it happens. As I said in the chat, I posted a picture of Bitcoin. It's making a reference to this area here, just here. I put an arrow and I was showing this area, and I just kind of outlined what I expect to happen. Doesn't mean it will, but you know what I'm expecting to happen, something that I'm watching very closely for, is a drop into this area here, potentially down to 48 as well, you know, between 50,000 and 48,000, but at least 52. We were very high likelihood that we're going to at least tag 52,000. The flows are very strong to the downside. You can see that we're starting to accelerate. The rebalancing up here is the giveaway, and then we get this nice reaction away from that. Bit of a run up, just taps this area here, and then a nice reversal. Okay, this is unlikely now to reverse again. You know, there's so much liquidity down here. There's got the imbalance over here. So effectively, if you want to be really precise in terms of where price should effectively maybe overrun slightly, it's around about the 50,000 mark. Okay, now I did get a message recently asking, you know, information you give is great, you know, it's awesome to study, this sort of thing, blah blah blah, you know, but how do you kind of use the information, you know, in your everyday trading? Now this is a very sensitive topic, and one that I'm very reluctant to discuss, because it falls under the bracket of trade advice. Okay, forget investment advice, I'm just talking about trade advice, you know, because we've already established investments are different. You know, the time horizon is what differentiates, you know, trading, you know, from investing. But it's a sensitive topic, all right, and I have to be careful how I discuss this, because I don't want people obviously taking what I'm saying out of context and then being in something they don't want to be in, or being in something they believe they should be in, or just kind of using the information as a trading service or a trading signal services. You know, that's never my intention. Obviously, you guys know that by now. But I will say this: when I am looking to do something with, say, Bitcoin, you know, as we're looking at now, I often look at it and I will say, okay, as a long-term strategy of store of value, okay, you know, people like to put their money in Bitcoin. Okay, great. I have some money in Bitcoin. Great. But that is a function of protecting your wealth. Yeah, that's the idea of using Bitcoin as a store of value. You're switching fiat into Bitcoin because you believe a certain amount of things are going to happen around the world, that currencies are going to be devalued, that inflation is going to continue to increase. Excuse me. And then obviously having money in Bitcoin makes sense, right? Assuming, of course, that you believe in Bitcoin and what it is and what it could be, right? But this is a risk that we take, right? But when it comes to trading, trading's different, as we know. Trading is in and out, you know, and I will look at Bitcoin in this example and I'll say, right, I know the key areas that I'm interested in, okay? The levels that I've already made a note of, you know, these areas down here, the key levels that I mentioned in the Discord. You know, I know where the potential targets are, you know, obviously all-time highs, 6,000 all the way up to all-time highs, and then based in the previous video, I was discussing the potential, you know, or the extremely high likelihood that, you know, Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000. You know, so I have all of this information, and then I say to myself, right, as a trader, I don't care, and I've said many times, what price is doing, where it is, what the actual price is. It's irrelevant, because if I go from 56,000 to 57,000 and make $1,000 and get out, it's the same as getting in at 66,000 and getting out at 67,000. It's exactly the same thing. You know, in that respect, we're just looking for movement. Doesn't matter where that movement occurs. And even if I take a trade from 64,000 down to 62,000, for example, and make the $2,000 difference, it's the same thing. Up, down, it's irrelevant. Yeah, because I'm looking to extract X amount of movement from the market, and the way that I trade from a risk perspective is always the same. I'm always looking for the same amount of movement depending on the asset class that I'm trading. If it's the Forex market, I'm only ever looking for 20 pips, stop break even, I'm out at 30 for the last half, done. I will not deviate from that. If I'm trading Bitcoin, I'm looking from between $200 to $400 of movement, okay, because obviously it's quite volatile, sometimes you can't be exact, and I'm done, yeah. If I'm trading, which I don't, but if I was trading Ether, for example, I mean, just based on the average daily range and the way that it moves, probably $50, maybe, I don't know, $50, $60, something like that. It's all relative to the asset class that you're trading. So bear this in mind. It's not, because I have a very strong, confidence that price is going to go down to say 52,000. I'm not just going to short it now because I believe it's going there, because the end goal for this particular strategy that I'm looking at on Bitcoin is the opposing liquidity pool up here at 60,000. Yeah, so for me to get to 60,000, I can maybe pick it up here once I've seen confirmation. I could pick it up here once I've seen confirmation, or I could pick it up here once price gets back above 58,000. There's so many options and variables, and they're all dependent on the flows, how price is moving in and out of levels, and hourly flows, which is very important in terms of confirming these high time frame levels, So all of this we have to bear in mind, okay? So I just wanted to kind of throw some things out there in that respect. And I was kind of pausing because I want to be mindful of how I'm saying things and what I'm saying. Don't want anybody to take any of this stuff the wrong way. And then regarding Swissborg, we'll just quickly go over. Not a great deal, really. I mean, it is flat. We're having a little bit of movement here and there. Obviously, the protect and burn is growing, so that's good. And actually, I'm going to have a look at the current protect and burn. The last time I checked, it was over 1 million. If I remember, because I've been so busy, guys, I've not had a chance to kind of really check anything. Once I've got my schedule sorted, I'll be okay. Yeah, so approximate protect and burn is around about 1.1 million, close to 1.2 million. That's great, that's fantastic. So all's well on Swissborg. Again, we have to work off this big area up here, and all of this move is dealing off that, what it did up here during the AMA. These levels are still valid, so we'll leave those on the chart. So I'll zoom out on the 4 hour and just have a look. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking the way that this is moving. We stabilized in the 130 to 140 range for quite some time, and then we've dipped off from there, which is quite significant in terms of why, which I'll do a separate video on that. But for now, I'm not seeing anything that concerns me. I like the way price is moving. We are likely to see the 140s again quite soon. And again, I'll just quickly reiterate, if price drops and it snaps into this level, it's going to be fast and it's not going to stay there, okay? So, I'm not saying expect it. I'm just saying if it happens, just be mindful, okay? Have that in the back of your mind because it's always a possibility. And what else? Just looking down the list, guys. Yeah, I don't want to talk about anything else. I've got the analysis coming towards the end of the week anyway. I'll be doing REN and Kyber Network, I believe. So I'll be doing a nice little rundown. I'll try to be very specific on REN because I know a while ago somebody mentioned REN in the chat and I kind of caught it and I made a mental note of that, right? Because REN's really fat, and I know there's people in the Discord chat that have been in this for a while and they're getting really frustrated because they see all of this movement on everything else and REN's just sat there doing absolutely nothing, okay? But when it's its time, it will happen, regardless of whether it's up or down. At some point, we're going to get some movement on REN, but we'll discuss that, closer to the time. But for now, be mindful of Bitcoin, okay, and study it. Plenty to watch on this in terms of, dynamics of order flow, the way price is moving. And all's good. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I hope everybody's having an awesome day, and I will catch up with you guys in the chat or in video or one of the other areas or places that you normally find me. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.